Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for all of your purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss a 39mm stainless steel limited edition of 150 pieces launched in 2016 from independent German brand Moritz Grossmann of Glashütte, Germany. We have the Tefnut Pure. This watch is everything that makes Moritz Grossmann great, stripped down to the bare minimum. It is a super low-profile dress watch that might even be considered an all-arounder because of its versatile size and durable steel construction. So 39 millimeters in diameter, the watch is 8.8 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 45.2 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. And you can see it wears well. Now this strap is fairly stiff, so I'm pulling it tighter around my wrist than you would pull it around yours. And there's a reason for that you'll see in a moment. The point is the watch is larger than it looks, and the edge of my wrist is farther than it looks away from the lugs. As a result, I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Here's your over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch anyway. Down the barrel is usually the true angle here, and it is very low. With a sloped bezel and a sub 9 millimeter thickness, this is a watch that will slide easily under a dress cuff. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into what kind of alligator leather this is, because as you can see on the back, it is what's technically called fake. And while that's ordinarily quite appealing, if you are shipping a watch internationally, my guess is this is on here because the watch was transferred between international offices. Unless you really want it like this, you're going to get one that is just that. So don't pay too much attention, though you will note that this fake alligator strap came from the very best. We like Jean Rousseau. They are the OEM supplier to De Bethune and FP Journe. We have a little Moritz Grossmann steel pin buckle right here. And then we've got a case that's simple, pure, as the name implies. You can see the lugs are nicely set out from the case. There's a firm crease between case band and lug. Everything's polished. We have a little bit of a tumble home here with the bezel area being broader than the case back area. There's a case back that's set back and domed just as the bezel is domed. We have a vintage inspired unsigned crown with a little bit of a conical profile. This crown winds beautifully. And as you can see, this crown endows the watch with a weird superpower, which is the ability to hack despite no seconds display. So if you really want to stop the movement, just pull the crown and you will stop the movement, but that's more of an academic feature. The dial is made of silver, which is the standard material used on Moritz Grossmann dials. You can also see it's elaborately designed with a dimple style, minutes track outboard, and a center disc that's dropped below the outer hour track. We have steel hands, but they are cut and finished manually. They are Moritz Grossmann's beautiful handmade hands. You can see that the minute hand has been rolled on a miniature rolling pin, so when you view it from the front, it looks perfectly flat. We have these little dart style indices in high polish. You can see that the cannon pinion itself has been bright polished. The hands take hours to fabricate and finish to this degree of detail and beauty, one of the distinctive features of this brand. Turning it all over, here you can see what's known as caliber 202. So this is a more stripped down version of the caliber 102. It still features German silver bridges and plates, and it still has pillar construction where the bridges sit on pillars above the base plate like a marine chronometer. It's a manual wind. It has a power reserve of 48 hours. It beats away at 3 hertz. Although not specifically signed as such, it is adjusted in 5 positions, which is the standard for high horology and chronometers. It features 26 pivot jewels, and it is a gorgeous little movement that includes media blasting of surfaces, satination of wheels, clear sapphires rather than synthetic rubies, which gives it a very pale aesthetic. And then you can see that we have a unique proprietary balance design. So we have 4 inertia screws and then 2 poising screws. And you can see those 2 poising screws there in the center. By moving them in and out, the watchmaker can finely adjust the timing of the watch. While it does have a screw-based micrometric adjustment system, the primary timing adjustments are done using the balance, and the balance is made by Moritz Grossmann. Not many brands make balances. You can also see that the stud holder, as well as the regulator, mirror finished in steel. All of the screw heads are polished, and you will appreciate that some of the wheels of the train have been intricately beveled on their interiors. So while this is not the most deluxe level of finish, this is the Pure model after all, it is still quite attractive. Now, taking a look at the characters, you can see on the 202 versus the 102. The characters here have been mechanically applied, but it has that traditional German watch layout of a three-quarter style bridge like a pocket watch, and you can see that the click and the click spring, just as on the Big Brother 102, beautifully mirror finished, and it has that extensible pocket watch style click that harks back to the era of Moritz Grossmann, the watchmaker, and German watchmaking antiquity before the 20th century. All of this 30 meters water resistant. It is a beautiful timepiece. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.